Hey guys, what's up? This is Christian here. I know it's been a freaking while. Give me a break. I've got a lot to talk about in another video, but we got to get this Applin video done, or at least get to the part where I have issues. So let's just start off where we last left, which was dealing with the Berlin Wall. So basically where I last left, I was stuck dealing with the team yell, and like I said, they're hard to deal with. But by this time, I've basically gotten to the point where I can struggle through them. And I just want to mention, level 47. I've only beaten the first gym, so just understand, this is how hard and how grindy it is. But once you get past these guys, you don't have to deal with too much. You just got to quickly get through them, knowing that it's a 2 battle. It's super difficult. But once you've beaten them, you finally get the bite. Finally, I can progress. Okay, just got to get across the... Oh, God. I just got farther. Come on. Oh, I changed my mind. So, if you don't know, hop is right after you have to fight. And if you want an example of just how terrible this hop fight is, just watch this one attack. It hurts. It hurts on the inside so bad that I can't hurt a level 18 Wooloo. So because of that, I have to basically go back and grind. It sucks so bad, especially when Hop does this. What the hell? So you know, it's just a simple fight. I can't stand it, but I should have remembered that this was coming. So yeah, no, this fight is unbearable at times because if I can't beat all all three of his Pokemon with struggle and still remain my berry, there's no way of me winning. I can't. So I have to basically go grind. I did have to go pick up the move Attract. This will come into effect later, but this is one of the 4 moves that Applin can learn. This move will have some benefits to me eventually. Right now, no. So we're back to trying Hop again. And this one should go much better, I hope, right? Because I should be able to knock out Wooloo. I'm level 56 now. Alright, cool. That's not so bad. It's not like his bird knows anything that could hurt us, like Unnerve. Oh, God. So, yeah. Once we're able to finally eat the berry, there's a chance of us basically beating this fight, but it's still super risky, I'm not going to lie. And I think the only reason I think we lose is because the fight, I just didn't have enough health. Unnerve, the ability of Unnerve is so hard to deal with. So now that we are level 56 again, I feel like this should be better. I think I just went into that fight with an unlucky amount. So this is the stats that we have. And let's try it one more time. I felt like I had it in that one, so I don't think I need to grind anymore. But look at what level I'm at, 56. I've only beaten the first gym. Like, that shit's insane. But at least once I've finally beaten Hop, I don't have to worry about anything else. So as we're basically plowing through his team finally, which is so easily helping, even a Flame Charge does barely any damage to me, and boom, I'm alive. We finally progressed against Hop. So now that we progressed, I skipped a little bit ahead because there's not much to it. Once we get to the second town's gym, we're basically going to have to just go into the gym leader and sweep her entire team, because that's the only way we're going to be able to get through this. The one thing I did want to ask is just out of curiosity for those people who have been watching the video, which I do want to thank you guys for those who've been checking it out and just seeing what they thought about it. Do you like me keeping the story aspects in? I don't think I should be, because MDB, who's kind of made this more famous, he doesn't approach the story elements too much. He approaches main fights. I wanted to keep it in because of how this game kind of uses them to push the narrative, but that's just, I wanted to ask, see what you guys thought. So as we're going through the fight with Nessa, it's not exactly a very bad fight. It's pretty even. The only thing I was iffy about was if I should have used leftovers or should have used the berries that I've been using. I couldn't decide, so I went with leftovers just to see if I had a better chance, because I have high enough defense that none of her Pokemon can beat me. So when it comes down to a Dynamax battle, basically I had it because I had it up the Astonish that turns into Max Phantasm, which, if you remember, lowers the defense of a unit. So Dreadnought, even being a tanky unit, doesn't matter because I lowered their defense. So basically, it was a fight of attrition, and I won because I kept lowering his defense. So yeah, this was kind of an easy fight, and I felt so happy that I didn't have to deal with any more bullshit after that. And I felt bad because Nessa is actually a really cool gym leader, but it's just she's so underwhelming when this challenge. So, like I said, I kept some story elements in because I didn't know if we should approach them or not, if we should keep them in. If I need to take them out, I don't mind. I want to keep doing challenges like this because I feel like the Applin challenge is frustrating, but at the same time, I feel like it pushes enough to give you guys something. The next thing that happens is we go into the cave where we get into the next rival battle, which the rival that I am so happy to see. Bede, I need someone's ass to kick. Let's use yours. Because this is just a fucking sweep. There is no way in hell his team could handle mine. There's no way in hell that Bede could be a problem for me. And it's not like I'm giving any foreshadowing or anything, because Bede is so easy. He's such an easy person to beat. So basically from there, I just have to deal with Michelle sweeping his team. Keep in mind that almost everything he has, nothing can actually hurt me. So even though he's acting cocky and stuff, there's not much I'm afraid of. I mean, his team is psychic. I have a ghost move. Yeah. So after that, we have to continue going on, and we get into a very scary fight. You see, these Team Yell, you have to do a double battle with Hop. Just so you know, they heal you during the fight, so you can't use the struggle strategy. So the only option I have left is to pray to God that one of them has a Thievel or a... Yeah, pretty much a Thievel, because I think that's what they'll have right now. And if they did, that's the one I gotta fight. But the other issue I have to deal with is, if Hop attacks Thievel, I don't have anything to fight. So I have to rely on Hop to actually fight Linoon. Which, luckily enough, he does, but he also has that moment of just turning his mind to another Pokemon. The other thing I wanted to address is that you saw in this battle I used Attract. Attract is so useful because it allows a unit to stop attacking. So what helps is the fact that when I'm having to fight, if something I can't hurt, I can attract and then just think up a new strategy, think of something. And eventually that's what's going to help me get through this challenge. Attract is so useful because I never realized how great the Attract status effect was until I did this challenge. Not saying I would use it on a lot of my Pokemon, but it is useful, especially when you understand the gender differences. Helps that I have a female Applin, which was kind of what I was pushing for because a lot of the characters you're going to fight that are annoying are male. But Attract, one of the best moves I got for this thing, it helps so much. So as we're basically going through it, Hop is basically defeating the rest of the team, which is kind of what was going to happen. We're then having to go chase them down. They confront the Fire Gym leader, which, God, just the thoughts. I knew that this is where the challenge was going to become a unique turn. Basically what happened here is that the challenge could be problematic for me because if, say, he becomes an issue, I may not beat him. But before then, we have to face the fangirl's favorites, Mary. Now, facing her isn't hard because she is a, dark poison trainer. The only issue is her Krogunk, but it wasn't until we got to... Well, it wasn't until we got to her what's it called? Morpeko? Yeah, Morpeko. I haven't played this game forever. God damn. Her Morpeko, the issue that I ran into was I ran out of Astonishes. So Scraggy ate up most of my Astonishes because of it being a dark type. So because of that, I had to sit there and constantly hit it. While she also healed it, so fucking asshole. But once it got to Morpeko, we ran into a big problem. I couldn't hurt it. So because I couldn't hurt it, I didn't know what to do. And keep in mind, I still had Attract, so I had to waste, I think, 30 turns of Attract Just think about that. And Morpeko is a dark type too, so it doesn't help that Astonish doesn't do much damage. There wasn't much Morpeko could do to me because I was healing the damage it dealt. But at the same time, this was just a war of attrition of eventually one of us will win, and I'm praying that it was me. Because this fight was just so tedious. I'm mashing through, trying my best to just beat this fight. This is the one reason I did this challenge. You have one attacking move for like almost 80% of the game. It doesn't get any easier from here. So eventually, once I finally win the fight, which, you know, takes a good 10 minutes. Alright, so this is our stats going into the fight. I'm at level 58. The stat that we're mostly using for damage is the attack stat, which is at 70. And our only two moves right now are Astonish and Attract. I'm not going to lie, I did not think the struggle strategy was going to work on the Fire Gym Leader. But at the same time, I did want to try different strategies to see what could work. So I went in, I believe, with what I could. There was some things I wanted to address. The challenge that he gives, the reason I kept it in, this is the most unfair challenge, in my opinion, because I don't know what happened, but apparently because I didn't knock out, I don't know. I don't even know what happened, honestly. I just wasn't allowed to win. So basically, yeah, I knock out like the Litwick, no problem. I think it was here with the Centiskorch. I think it just gets knocked out or something. I don't know. I don't even remember what happened. I just know that I couldn't win for some reason. Like, it didn't count me as winning. The one thing, though, that is irritating about this is that I didn't realize that the other person is trying to fight you, which was weird. But alright, I guess that makes sense. I mean, technically we are competing, but due to this bullshit, I actually had to catch a centipede or whatever, sizzlepede, whatever. And I didn't want to. I literally did not want to. But for some reason, this challenge would not let me pass. It was, even though I knocked out more Pokemon than they did, for some reason it said I didn't claim enough points. And I kept trying. I was like wondering, what the fuck am I doing wrong? So I have to use some items outside of battle, but yeah, no. I don't know what happened during this challenge. I just wanted to show off like what I had to deal with just to get to the gym leader. I had to catch something. I don't know what happened. But once we get to the gym challenge, this is where everything gets flipped on their head. So there's a lot that goes into this challenge that I didn't know. Now doing it this way, that makes his gym one of the hardest if you're not ready. So basically, he has a unique strategy that he does. Starting off with the Ninetales, he almost always will go for Will-O-Wisp. He will always burn you. There's one time he doesn't use Will-O-Wisp on me, but even then again, he used Will-O-Wisp the next turn. Now, the thing that sucks is that burn halves your attack or it lowers your attack. I'm not sure which one. It always changes every game, but it lowers your attack. So I'm already dealing with a low attack, and Astonish is my only attacking move. So I'm kind of dealing with an issue that I'm losing my health as well because leftovers can't recover enough that burn's not stopping. So as I'm going through his team, I'm trying my best to think of a strategy that I think I could use against him. His Arcanine also uses Intimidate, which lowers your attack again. And understand that this stuff is stuff that's stacking. Once I realized what his gimmick was now, I now know what it was. He made sure that you can't use the attack stat. So just going into this fight, it was so difficult because no matter what I tried, I couldn't get past his Arcanine. And understand that his Arcanine is his second Pokemon. He still has his Ace. And his Ace has the chance of being able to beat me. But even still, once it got to the point of I couldn't hurt this thing, I didn't know what to do. So I kind of just let myself die on this attempt, and I moved on to the next one. All right, so when I go into the second attempt, I make sure I go level up a little bit, so I'm level 65 now, and I'm trying to see what I can do. You did see a little bit of friendship with Applin. I did try to make sure that that stuff didn't affect the fight, so a lot of the time, yeah, don't worry about it. But the fight still starts the same. He will-o-wisp, fire spins, and he's just trying to drain your health. That's all this fight is. And it doesn't help that you're in with one Pokemon. So most of the fight is just me trying to beat just the Ninetales and Arcanine. And I try everything. I know for a fact I can't win. Especially with the fire spin and the burn and all that stuff. It would made it impossible. So I decided to try Dynamaxing just to see maybe if it could do something for me. It doesn't help that his Arcanine still was faster. But at least it gave me damage, but look at the damage I do to him. It's not enough. So I kind of was just like, alright, well that plan's not working, so what if I try the fight with Dynamaxing early? So I tried that idea, and it's just, it works except for the fact she still will-o-wisps you. So my damage is already halved. So again, I'm not able to do enough damage to one-shot the Ninetales. So I'm like, alright, that's irritating. So let's try and see how much I can get through with just this one Dynamax. Keep in mind, you only have it for 3 turns. So I'm just trying to get through the Arcanine again. And I'm burning through this guy. And I cannot fucking stand this. I am doing everything in my power to make it so this Arcanine can't attack. I'm using Attract on it so it doesn't attack me anymore. And it's still getting through. Like, I'm using a berry, I'm using everything. And this thing is, it's just frustrating. Because it's not my Pokemon that can't get through it. It's the fact that this strategy is so frustrating. But once he gets to the Sizzlepeed, I'm like, alright, I think I got it. He Gigantamaxes. And I got scared because I realized what was about to happen. Yep. He has more damage than I can handle, and I don't think I could stop him with an Attract. So basically, he one-shots me again. So, once we try the 4th attempt, I tried something, and I wanted to address this because it's not shown in the video. I went into this fight paralyzed. I went to find a what's it called? Yamper, and let it use Nuzzles just to paralyze me because I wanted to see if I could go into this fight paralyzed and just pray to God on luck. You know what they do? They heal you before you go to fight. Yes. I was pissed. I tried it. So I finally just said, screw this. This is where I finally said that item rule cannot exist. But it cannot exist if I've lost to the gym leader 3 times. Or the challenger. I was so frustrated, dude. Like, this fight is not fair if you can't use items. Because no matter how you try to do it, there's no way out of it. You only have one attacking move. Attract is too slow. The Pokemon is too slow. And the only way I'm going to survive is if I use items. Keep in mind also, I'm level 65. I have out-leveled these guys by 40 levels. Do you understand this frustration? I shouldn't be having this much trouble. But I am. So like I said, I made the only decision I thought. And I know some people is going to say, it's bullshit that you made that decision. I don't care. I thought about it. I sat there thinking like, should I do this? And then I just said, screw it. Because I couldn't risk losing this run. I felt like this was the run. This is the one I'm going to do it with. So I did the only thing possible and I used a heal. I had to. I'd use something. Just so that way I could survive this fight. Especially after he Gigantamaxes, I was like, alright, let's go. He hits Wax Butterfly, I survive with 60 HP, and I'm sitting there thinking, like, maybe I can survive with an Attract. I survive at 35, I hit him with an Attract. I then had to make a decision. I healed again, and he couldn't move. Once he couldn't move, I basically won the game, because I used Dynamax and I hit him. I don't care what you say. I understand that this shit is unfair, but I had to. I had to do this just to get past this gym leader. I could not deal with being stuck again. I'm at level 65. I can't grind anymore. Because if I grind any higher, the game's not going to be fun. It's going to be frustrating because all the grinding really is me hitting super stuff until I'm 100. So yeah, once I finally beat him, I was super happy because now that finally opened up the game, I could actually do a lot more with my playthrough than I wanted. So basically after that, I do the story elements, which is basically like, oh, goodbye, thank you guys for all your help. And we move on to the wild area. This is where Hop gets his ass kicked by Bede, which I still don't understand how. I mean, it's not like Bede's a difficult opponent or anything. But, you know, just saying. So after that, basically I make it up. I show them that I have the badges. And now we're able to go into Hammerlock, which best area right now to go to. So the first thing I do is that over here in this in the Pokemon Center, there is this lady that you can buy items from. And I put in the code around the time that allowed me to get 20 free BP because I wanted to get 2 items that I needed for this playthrough, a Power Bracer and a Power Lens. The reason why is because the 2 stats we're going to focus on with Applin is her special attack and her attack. Because I've already just given up on trying to be super tanky. The Pokemon already has some tankiness anyways, but there's no point. Then there's also this special little interaction you can do where you can give somebody an Applin, you know, to have the cute interaction with Applin. I didn't also know that you could give them your Applin and be Pokemonless, which was kind of funny. So yeah, during this whole segment, I don't have Applin, so I kind of just started laughing because I'm like, oh, I'm defenseless, I don't have a Pokemon, I hope nobody attacks me. But I wanted to show this little interaction just because it is cute. It's one of the reasons I also pushed for this Applin effect. He also gives me the Tart Apple. I don't plan on using it until the end. So just so you guys know, the Tart Apple will be given to him later. So this is what I was talking about with the Macho, or with the braces. I wanted to use both braces to basically focus on raising his stats. So for attack stat, if you ever want to raise it, get a brace and go fight Machops. They're the best to fight because they're easy to knock out. Plus they provide, I believe, 1 attack point. And every 10 is always a stat. So basically from there, I just grinded on them. And I made sure that as I'm grinding, I kept focusing until I got to a full amount. Once that happened, I basically then put away that and went for the Power Lens. And I started working on Glooms. Now, Glooms are a lot easier to work on than what is suggested because I can't even fight them. But Glooms give 2 special attack. So with the Power Brace, how it gives 8 on top of that, that's basically, I have to fight, I think it was, I don't even remember how many Glooms I had to fight. But I didn't have to fight so many that I was able to beat this. Poketips is somebody who gives a great breakdown of this, and it's kind of where I got my information to make this so much easier when I was grinding these things. But as you can see, I'm just grinding them just to quickly get to the stats I need. So after that, we come back to Hammerlock and we deal with the plot again, which is obviously talking about how Bede was, you know, the protege or the student of, I forget what it was called, basically being backed by the President Rose or Chairman Rose, whatever. And basically from here, I'm just going through the story modes, like talking about how like Hop got beat by Bede and Hop is just not feeling good. I talked to the Dragon Gym leader, which we'll have fun when we get to him. And like I said, this is just story stuff. I could easily remove it if need be. So if anyone asks, I can take it out. I don't mind. My main main threat is just to get through this and show like everyone. When I get over here, I notice that the Team Hell are here. Now, the one reason it looks like it's a second fight, I realized that I couldn't beat it the first time, so I just like, I cut it out just because I was like, fuck it. Basically, I had to go back and just set up the struggle strategy, otherwise I couldn't just get past. And from there, I just basically wiped their team, no problem, especially because of this Noon. I fucking hate this thing now. And it's just so frustrating. But yeah. Once we get through this, we have no issues. We just basically get through their entire team. I just struggle through and they're gone. And Team Yell is no longer an issue. And after that, I can move on with the story. We I cut out most of the stuff that has to do with getting to the town. We also introduced to Opal, which we'll see her in a bit. I get a certain item that I wanted to address, which was the Rocky helmet. This is actually an amazing item for a strategy that I come up with thanks to my roommate. So just when you see that strategy, you'll see it up ahead and you'll understand it. But we have to do a Hop fight now. Now this is where Hop changes his team, and I was actually very scared. But once I realized what his starter was, I was like, oh sweet, Cramorant. Oh my god, I don't actually have to struggle you. Yay, I live. Yeah, I'll be sad later. But just know that this fight was not as hard as any other fight. Hell, he went from being a Berlin Wall in this case, but this is where he's very sad and he's trying to think of new strategies. So it's a very upsetting fight, but it's not like I was concerned. Most of his team isn't that hard, plus the fact of I don't think he had anything to really wreck me. The level disparity was another thing, plus the fact of just the defense I had. Because Applin actually is very defensive. Like its defense stat is actually its best stat. So that's one of the reasons I didn't even really want to work on its defense. The special defense I should have, but because I was just going into this idea of a raw tank, a raw glass cannon tank, I was like I couldn't see myself doing it. So yeah, so after we beat Hop, we basically see that he's still upset, and he's just trying to come up with a strategy that matches his brothers. And this is when we're introduced to Opal again, and yeah, let's just not worry about her. So now next up, it's time to finally fight B. Now B is actually one of my favorite gyms, just because since you have a different gym based on your version, she's also extremely interesting with how she is a fighting gym leader. But alright, so when this fight comes up, I forgot that this guy had a stuffed one of Beware. So basically I came up with this strategy. I was going to use the withdraw move, which would raise my defense, so that way I could have a higher defense when I'm getting hit, and I have the Rocky helmet for when I get hit. The only thing, and I want to kill SK, because of course he had to fucking say it. What if he uses Leer? Yeah. So yeah, this fight was basically me sitting there waiting for him to kill himself. Because I literally can't hurt Stuffle or Beware because they're fucking normal types! So yeah, this is a very, very interesting fight. Because all it is me using Withdraw until he finally decides to hit me. Because, again, can't hurt me that bad. Trust me, I can survive. But, yeah, this is just one of the reasons I wanted to show you guys this new strategy and just see what you guys thought. It's interesting how it works because now that I had Withdraw in my moveset again, now that I had this idea, I was like, alright, I can use Withdraw if I ever have to use this strategy because I think it will actually be a better option. I don't have to always be on the offense sometimes. So, yeah. Once after that, I just move on to B because I just wanted to show you guys that new fight. And the fight with B is actually kind of funny because I thought it would be a lot harder. Not really. I think, if I remember correctly, I went into this fight... Did I use... I think I used a berry. I'm not sure. It was either a berry or... Yeah, I used a berry. And, it's pretty... Did I use a berry? My health is at half. When... Did I forget to use an item in this fight? I think I did. Oh, yeah, that's right. This is the fight where I forgot to put an item on my Applin. So, you know, I was being a dumbass. Whoops. I was like, I even remembered that's why I was like, that's why this fight required a second fight. It was just my dumbass forgot to put a berry on my Applin, and I realized later, I was like, yeah, I'm a stupid idiot. So yeah, once we get into the second fight, yeah, no, I went into this strategy again, and I was like, alright, let's see if this works. And it kind of does. I mean, her Hitmontop basically gets knocked out, no problem. And plus I was using Attract. I was basically just trying to build up withdraws until I could hurt it. The more reason I did that was because of Machamp. I didn't know if I could survive Machamp. I was concerned about that because Machamp is very, very strong. So I was just basically praying to God that none of her Pokemon were strong enough to hurt me. But at the same time, I'm like, this fight could be bad. We'll find out. Especially since Pangoro is a dark type. Astonish isn't doing so much damage. But yeah, this fight was pretty lackluster, if anything. Even with Farfetch, I just attract, and I just use this same strategy. I withdraw in the beginning so that way I have high defense. Then I use Attract to stop them from fighting. And then I use Astonish for fighting. It's like this is the only way I could see this working in a way where I'm not, I guess, not screwed. And when it comes down to the Dynamax battle, it's pretty much an even fight. I mean, she tries to use something, and it doesn't fully pan out in her way. Where I Dynamax, again, I have the Max Phantasm, which lowers the defense. So I kind of just went with this repeated pattern. Just keep lowering the defense until I win. Because with my defense super high, he couldn't really hurt me. So yeah, once I did that, it was over. But it was a close fight, I won't lie. So yeah, well, after we beat B, we get to move on to the next fight, which is challenging our, next best rival. Which, I think I made a mistake when I did this fight. I went into it without an item again. I don't think I thought about it until I realized I didn't have a berry on my Pokemon. So yeah, I just thought maybe I could sweep his team. Yeah, I forgot about her. So Hatterene, Hatterene showed me why I should have been scared. Especially since I can sweep most of his team. It doesn't help that they're still faster. So yeah, I got swept by Bede. It's okay. Now that I actually have an item on me, I should be able to beat this no problem. So yeah, once after we put the item on, we're able to beat Bede no problem. And I'm able to this time handle things like the light or whatever. I make sure that it's the whatever you call it, the recovery item. Leftovers, just because I feel like that was what I needed. I don't think I really needed the berry. Because especially since I don't want to really waste those because they're a pain in the ass to get anyways. From there, this is just a simple fight like what I've been dealing with. And there's not much else I can say. It's pretty kind of boring. So after that, he basically gets, told you're no longer a challenger, blah, 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 story stuff. Again, story element things, I'm still iffy if I should talk about or not. But anyways, let's move on to the next item that we needed to get for this challenge, which is getting the Evilite. This item is a godsend. Since I'm refusing to evolve Applin, it's making Applin's special defense and defense higher. So it's making Applin survive more. The issue that I have with the Evilite, and this is important because I want to bring this up before we start into the Opal fight. When you have this item on, you're giving up that healing. So you have to understand that my ability is no longer useful. So what the fights mainly became was either I'm putting the Rocky helmet on or I'm putting the Evilite on. So a lot of the strategies I have had later start going away because there's no way to use them anymore. But yeah, once we get into Opal's gym, we have to deal with the bullshit of the fairy gym. And I'm not going to lie, I did not see this coming. I was like, alright, how bad are fairies? They're not too bad. And, I'm just going through it thinking that this could be pretty easy. Oh god, I'm sweeping no problem. I just did not get hit with a fairy move. And let's just move on to Opal because I know why you're here. You want to see my ass get kicked by Opal. Because you see, I forgot what Opal's starting Pokemon was. And I'm super glad I now remember what her starting Pokemon was. Because, oh my god, Wheezing. Watch out fast. Especially since I screwed that up too. It was over. I couldn't win. Wheezing was, that was just the insult to me. Weezing's a poison fairy type. What the fuck am I supposed to do? So I go into this fight again, and I'm like, alright, I just need to get past this Weezing first, and I know for a fact I can do it. So I decide, alright, let's go into this fight again. And I'm trying. This time I know her nickname, so it's like I get the speed boost. Alright, cool, I'm faster. Alright, just gotta get past the Weezing. And I'm poisoned. Alright. Alright, just gotta get past the Weezing. I'm using the Evilite to make things easier. Oh, crap. And I'm dead. It's once I started realizing Opal's team is kind of made to counter me, and I was so scared, because there's nothing I could do. Opal's team is just stupid. I mean, look, she critted with the fucking wheezing. This is just a repeat over and over again. This is, I don't know what it is, but with like the fire gym and the fairy gym, I struggled so goddamn hard with these guys. But I said, screw it. I have to fail 3 times for me to actually use an item. So I tried a 4th attempt. And just look at this. I Dynamax just to see if that will change anything. Please, absorb. So look, it takes 2 turns, I knock Wheezing out. Cool. I'm also level 85 by this time. Alright, Togekiss. Go away! Oh, not dead. Alright, Air Slash. Oh crap, I took a lot of damage. Okay, Astonish. Okay, alright, what's next? Oh my god. Yep, Mawile. Oh god, this is such a terrible fight. I couldn't deal with this anymore. I was so frustrated. Like, I even used berries and stuff like that, and I'm just like, can I do this? Can I do this? And I get finally down to her Dynamax. Now, I was curious, could I survive her G-Max move? Especially with how much damage I just did with that Astonish. I was in shock how much I survived. And I made the decision I didn't want to make, but I said this was the 3rd attempt. So I healed. I'm sorry, I had no choice. I healed, and I made the only option I had left. I smacked a bitch. And I won. I'm sorry, I don't care what you think. I had to, because otherwise this fight would have been repeated. But, yeah. So this is actually where I'm going to have to end the Applin Challenge Part 2. And the only reason is because after this is where I lost a little bit of footage. I am still recovering that footage. And in another video, I'm going to explain what's been going on, why stuff has been delayed, why don't I have a schedule anymore. It'll all be explained soon. So if you look forward to that video, just look out for it. It should go up at the same time, hopefully, as this video. So I will see you guys later. This is Chris Eon signing out. I'll see you guys next time. Continue being an Eon star, because we never stop going.